Hello everyone, welcome to the second video in the Beginner C# tutorial series, and I have good news. To quote the professor from Futurama, we are going to do our first program today. It's going to be pretty basic, I'm not going to lie, but you'll write some code and hopefully you'll learn something. So, you should have Visual Studio installed by now. You should probably be bored stiff of it waiting, because it takes forever, I know, it's crazy. So if you go and launch that now, and you'll see mine is launching, what we're going to do is we're going to make a console application. So you've probably seen those programming movies, or movies with one of those hackers in, and they've got those black console windows, and they're like typing away in it, and all this mad stuff is happening. So we're going to make a dumbed down version of that, where we're just going to get the computer to talk to us, output some text. So here comes Visual Studio. So what I'm going to need you to do is go to New Project on the left of the Start page. If you don't have this page for whatever reason, you can always go to File, New, and then hit Project. There's also a hotkey Control-Shift-N if you fancied it, but I never remember that. So, right. So let's make a new project, and this is going to make a wizard for us to make our life easy, and it will create all of these crazy files in the background. But we didn't have to worry about that. This is why Visual Studio is awesome, because it sorts out all of this stuff for you. It tends to take a while just to sort of sort everything out to begin with, but once it's been up and running for a bit, it'll be no problem. Don't worry about that. So here we have a template of all of the things that we can make. So we've got this nice wizard, we can select stuff. So down here you can see some of the things I have. I'm on Windows 10, so I have Universal Windows. I've got some Android stuff here, which we'll get onto later. Mono game, it's always fun. There's also other things that if you installed some of the other stuff, you'll have C++. But we don't need that. What we're going to do is we're going to go to Windows, and then we're going to have a console application. So if you can't find that for whatever reason, just type in the search bar, console application, and it should be this one. Make sure it's Visual C#, not C++ or Visual Basic. Otherwise you're going to be in for a nasty surprise. So yeah, C# console application. Now if you come down here, you can see that you can give your new console application a name. So you can call it whatever you want. I'm going to call it tutorial console. And if you come down here, you'll see mention about a Git repository. Don't bother creating that for now. And then install it in a place that you'd like to install it. I've got this folder here I'm going to put it in. But again, you can have it absolutely anywhere. It doesn't need to be in the projects folder. It's just a handy place. Hit OK, and it's going to make our project for us. Now what this is doing at the moment is writing some files that Visual Studio needs to run your program. But like I said, it's doing it all under the bonnet. So we can just sit back and take a slurp of coffee if you've got it, something like that. This hopefully won't take very long. My computer is old and slow, so hopefully yours is quicker. Here we go. So we've got this nice new window, and if you did everything correctly, you should see this file called program.cs. Now, like sort of music files that are .mp3 or videos that are .mp4, code files have their own special file extensions. So you can see here, the file on the left with our code in has the extension .cs, and that stands for C#. And this is basically just saying that this file has C# code in it, and you could put anything in here, but it's going to try and treat it as C# code. So for example, if I just type in hello this doesn't make any sense, and it's going to give me a red line being like, what are you doing? This is not code. Okay, so make sure you have this window up on the left. It's called the Solution Explorer, and that's basically a fancy word for letting you see all the files in your current application. And this window is worth its weight in gold, I promise you that. If you can't find this window, you can always get it back by going to View and then Solution Explorer. And there's a hotkey again, never going to remember that. Yeah, View Solution Explorer. Always make sure you have this open. It's absolutely amazing. So, we've actually got some code written for us, which is kind of cool. And this is another thing that Visual Studio will do. It will sort of set you up with some sort of boilerplate code that you just can't be fussed away yourself. You know? Programmers are lazy. If there's one thing you should take away from this tutorial, it's programmers are lazy and they'll do anything to get out of doing work. So, what we can do now is we can actually run this program. And what's going to happen when we do that is the computer is going to start at the top and it's going to finish at the bottom. The best analogy I can think for this is, and this might depend on how old you are watching this, is one of those choose your own adventure books, or something like those games which say, do you want to do this, or do you want to do this, or do you want to do this? And your choice kind of affects what happens next. So like Mass Effect has that, you know, it affects what happens next in the story. And you know, all these other games, or those choose your own adventure books where it's like, go to page 12 if you want to stab the vampire or whatever. This is what's going to happen in our program. Depending on what is going on, we're going to go to different places. At the moment, this is going to start at the top and end at the bottom. But in here, at some point, we might just make it go somewhere else. So yeah, we'll get to that. So let's run it. And you can do that by hitting F5, or you can also go to debug here on the panel and press start debugging. I'd recommend having some kind of shortcut, or making sure you're familiar with the shortcut, because it'll save you a lot of time. You're going to be debugging a lot, trust me. So let's hit F5, and it's going to just get everything going, and then hopefully in a second you should see the console window come up. So down here you can see it said build started, build succeeded, so it's just sort of dealing with stuff at the moment. There we go. And it's up. And it's gone. So what happened there? So what happens when we run a console application is we start at the top and we finish at the bottom. So we come in here and we go through and we just do each line at a time, and then we get to the end and the computer says, I've run out of code to run, so that's me done, I'm going to stop. So if we run it again, you'll see it'll start, come in here, the console window will briefly flash up, and then it'll say I'm done, and it'll stop and it'll go away. So what we need to do, just to prove to you that something is actually happening, is we need to make it not just immediately come out of here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it wait for you to press a key before it carries on. And for you this may seem like complete rabbit out of the hat. Where are you getting this from? You basically get it from, you get all of this knowledge about what is available to you by just doing it. So right now you can be like, how would I know that all of this stuff exists? You're just going to pick it up. So trust me, you're going to have to accept a few things at the moment. So what we want is the console to stay open and not immediately just go away. And we'll do that by typing in console. And this is why Visual Studio is awesome, because it has all of these things that you could add. Now, I don't even know what some of these are. So we're going to do console.read key. And what that means is the console is gonna try and read a key press. So we can, if we hover over with our mouse, we can see there's a little description. It says obtains the next character or function key pressed by the user. The pressed key is displayed in the console window. So that's cool. So this is going to wait until we press a key. So what's going to happen is we're going to start at the top. I'm going to get in here, and then we're going to get to this line, and the computer's going to wait, and it will wait forever if it has to for a key from the user. Computers, you should know this if you're going to learn programming, are wonderfully, wonderfully patient, and they never get bored, they never get tired. They will just do whatever you tell them patiently until kingdom come. So let's run this again, and what should hopefully happen is the console window will stay open, and we can kind of have a look at it, and I can prove to you that actually something is happening. So let's do that. Let's hit F5 and let's run. And there we go. So we've got this nice sort of like hacker-esque window, and we can kind of drag and resize it. We can minimize it, and we can maximize it if you want to. You can hit close, and this will end the program, obviously. That's what it always does. But what I want to do is I want to prove to you that the code we've written is what the computer is doing. So whenever you're ready, I just want you to hit any key, not the power button, any key. So I hit spacebar, and now it's gone. So it was waiting for the key press, got the key press, and then it just did all of this, and then got to the end and closed again. So that's cool. That's awesome. So there's a bit of a sort of convention when you're learning programming that the first program you writes hello world somewhere or other. And I am loath to stick to this tradition, but I'm going to. So right now we're going to do really quick, write out some text to the console. So we're going to do console, because that seems to be where all the sort of interactions happening. Console, and if we scroll down, we're looking for right. There we go, right line. Ooh. Cool. So what will happen is we'll get in here, we'll write hello world, we'll wait, and then when we press a key, we'll leave. So if we run that with F5, we'll see we've got hello world written out there, and now it's waiting patiently, and it will wait forever for a key press. Now I'm going to hit A or something, and it closes. So this is the very, very basic programming, but we're already getting somewhere. You're already starting to understand how a computer works and how you can sort of interact with it and make it do things that you want it to do. Now, actually, there's a lot of stuff in here that I haven't explained, and I really don't want you to get confused about it. I will explain it, but you're going to have to be exposed to a certain amount and just take a certain amount as gospel for now. But I promise you, I will explain it. I will not forget it. Okay? So that is the end of this very, very basic tutorial. In the next one, I'm going to talk a little bit more about what's actually happening here in terms of nuts and bolts, and we might do a little bit more with our console window. Alright, so as ever, if you've got any problems, any questions, message, comment, let me know. Alright, thanks.